Hello, everybody. Geron Scates here at 91.1 FM, the Great White Buffalo, and the voice of Western Texas College. Well, we're here with more of our preseason athletic look at Western Texas College and at some of the teams that are, they begin their competition seasons in the fall. Some, of course, here wait till spring, but many start in the fall, and one of those is cross country. And cross country, of course, is part of the overall program that we have here with our track and field program. And head coach James Williams is with us. And Coach, first of all, thanks for taking the time to join us. It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
You know, Coach Williams is starting his 14th year with WTC this fall. And so he and I have been here just about the same amount of time. I got here just a couple of years ahead of him. And but he has, I can't read his bio for you because it would take about 20 minutes to do so. And that's just what I have in front of me. But I encourage you to go to WTC.edu, look on the athletic link, and go to track and field or cross country, and you can click on the coaches button, and you'll see Coach Williams' resume there that they've shared with us. And Coach Williams, folks, he has been responsible for various and numerous national champions here, All-Americans, and it goes back to that, and he has been part of track and field at every major national level, including attachment with some of the Olympic festival teams and the 96 Olympic Games. So if you can do it in track and field, Coach Williams has done it. And so we are very fortunate to have him here. He does a great job with the young men and young women and building them into great people, not just great athletes. So, Coach, we start out in the fall, of course, with your cross-country program. And for those people who you've watched track and field on television maybe, and you've seen somebody running around the track for like a long period of time, that is not cross country. So, Coach, if you would help us describe for some of us the difference between distance running and cross country.
Okay, I'll be glad to. Cross country is a longer distance sport, typically run on trails, grass, hills, and things of that nature. Cross country, some of the older courses used to have it where you had to run across, jump across creeks and fallen trees and things like that nature. It was truly cross country. Whereas track is run on a flat oval track, so there's a big difference there. The distances are longer in cross country. It goes anything from 3K up to 10K. And like I said, it's always featured on grass courses, dirt, hills. Sometimes you have to run across asphalt. They just make the course wherever they can make it, and where it's still a safety involved. So we have it in a lot of parks. There's a lot of parks we go to. Some campuses actually have courses on campus, as we do, and we're very lucky to have a course on campus. Cross country is typically described as a strength and an endurance sport, requiring both mental toughness and varying levels of, how should I put this, being able to run outside of your comfort zone. Once you get tired and you still got half a race to go. So it's all based on developing your aerobic system over the summer. It's just not something that you start doing once we get to school.
A lot of training.
Yeah.
Before you even think about competing in an intercollegiate cross-country match.
It is, and very competitive. They are very competitive. There's a lot of race strategy involved. It comes down to knowing your competition and not allowing someone to take you out over your head so that you can't finish well. And that comes from you being able to come out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to be patient and you have to be confident. And you have to know that, okay, that person's ahead of me right now, but that person's not going to be able to hold this pace. And if I try to run right on their shoulders, I'm not going to be able to hold the pace either. So you have to be smart as well. You have to have discipline. Probably on your way to work, you'll see people out running in the mornings. And you're thinking, man, they're out here this early before the sun comes up almost. We issue the bright colored orange fluorescent vests so
Right.
they can be seen. We get calls all the time telling me, hey, coach, I saw your kids. I heard they were really getting after it. So when they're out there on those long runs, they're just not out there on a gossip run where they're just strolling. They're actually getting after it and preparing themselves to be able to race.
Yeah. I think, when I think about cross country, um, I almost, and all of the long distance running with cross country and track and field is legitimate, but it's almost like cross country almost goes back historically to maybe be a little more, I don't know if this is the right word or not, but a little more pure, because as opposed to a carefully manicured all-weather oval track, which there's nothing wrong with that
Right.
in its own is special, but the fact that you're in the elements and it's whatever Mother Nature has put there, even if it's in a park, because you're going to have, it's not all flat, it's hills up
Right.
and down and jumping over ditches and all of that stuff. So
Yes.
it's crazy.
And your placement as an individual affects your team score because it is a team sport, and all times are recorded for each individual, and they put all these together and decide who's the winner of the meet. So there are a lot of things for whether you're the leader or whether you're the number 5 person, because they score 5 people from your team to get your overall score. So you're in there, and you have to be competitive because what you do does matter.
Exactly. And I think too, I think one of the good cool things about cross country is it opens up the athletics of running to not only someone who excels sprinting for 100 or 200 or 400 meters, but like you said, endurance.
Right.
So it's a different type of training,
It is.
to build that up.
Yeah, and there are tremendous athletes involved in cross country. I mean, they have to go through the weight training, they have to do flexibility training, they have to do sprint training. When you are looking at the finish of a cross country race, those distance athletes turn into sprinters because they're racing for that position.
And I know, and we'll give out a shout out to Coach Stefan,
Yeah.
because you're assistant, and he does a lot of coursework with that. So looking at, of course, now it's just we're just now like August, so we have the cross country athletes getting here, and continuing their training and things like that in preparation for their competitive season. So the outlook for this incoming class of cross-country runners, of course, we have the men's team and the women's team.
Right.
So how's your outlook on that? How would you?
Both
put
Coach
that?
Campos, who does a wonderful job with both the men and women distance runners for us, we're very excited about the incoming group of freshmen. We're excited about the returners because our top returners from regionals last year will be with us as sophomores, and we expect them to offer leadership for us. But we're very excited. All summer long, they constantly send us reports of the training that we have them doing and how it's going, so we know when we need to make changes. Because the key word was continuing, and you said continuing to train, yeah, because they've been at home training all summer.
Right.
They haven't been at home just saying, hey, school's out, I'm just hanging out, They're training. And
Yeah.
they understand the seriousness of it, and they understand what it takes. And they also know what their individual strengths are and their individual weaknesses are. And our jobs as coaches is to find out what their strength is, what their weaknesses is, and make adjustments to their training to get those strengths even stronger and get their weaknesses definitely stronger.
Well, and I think that contact too is important because that way somebody's just not showing up on campus and you have no idea of what they've done or not done, based on their reports back to you. And of course at this level, it's not like, well, I'm just going to take 3 months off and not do anything. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. They come here and they want to be competitive, and realizing that we're junior college and they want a scholarship out of here, which means that when we go to cross-country meets, they don't separate us from the bigger four-year schools, so those four-year schools get to see how you handle that level of competition.
Right.
The only time we compete against only junior colleges would be at our national championship and at our regionals and a conference if you have that.
Sure.
So
sure.
they line up right next to whoever's there. Texas A&M, Texas, Texas Tech, whoever's there. So it comes down to being mentally strong, and having a big heart.
Yeah. I think, you mentioned about the fact that the four-year schools, those coaches and their staff, they get to see our kids compete at that level to see how they do. And for our kids, they, of course, get to measure up and say, okay, for me to be in that person's place, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And they can go from there.
Because they want team success, but they want individual success as well. So that's where they take a look at the big Power 5 Division I schools, the Division II schools, the NAIA schools, and Division III schools to see where they would fit in and be able to make a contribution to that program and be able to handle the level of competition that they face on a weekly basis. So it comes down to being honest with yourself. And with us having knowing what the situation is, we educate them. We feel like our job is always to make their best better and let that land them in an environment where they can continue to improve and not be somewhere where they're over their head and don't make their travel squad so they don't get a chance to really improve because they don't get to race a lot. So we try to make sure that they understand, hey, we need to find a place that you fit where you can make a contribution to that team and you can have the aspirations of being All-American and national champion and just decide whether it's Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, as I said.
Right. I know obviously Western Texas College, your program is right up there for junior colleges, nationally. We know that. For those of us who, you get people that follow NCAA Division I football or basketball or maybe baseball and softball, like with the Texas Tech Lady Red Raiders, in
Right.
softball, and they had a big season and all that. But in cross country, are there two or three schools that stand out in the Division I level without? We're not asking you to pick favorites, but but for those of us uninitiated, who are the schools that maybe stand out in that arena?
Oh, there are several. I mean, you got the Northern Arizonas, you have the North Carolina States, you've got Oregons, you've got the Stanfords. I mean, you've got great Texas schools as well. So it's just an outstanding level when you get to Division I all
Right.
across the country. That's why they have it broken down into regions. So you can qualify for the national meet out of your region because some regions are obviously tougher than others.
Sure.
So they have the Southwest region, they have the West region, the North, the South, et cetera. And they'll all to get together and then somebody will claim bragging rights.
Well, that's true, and it's kind of difficult to administer and run a cross country meet if you've got 2,000 runners. I mean, that's just.
Oh, yeah.
It gets that gets crazy, especially. And for people that don't know, I guess we can go ahead and tell them. You may be surprised when you heard Coach say we do have a cross country course here. Now it's not directly on campus in amongst the buildings, but it's across in the land over there that's adjacent, I think, to the soccer fields.
Correct.
And back in there.
Yeah, we're lucky and blessed to have that course here. And everybody tells me it's a tough course.
Yeah, I was just saying, I've never gone over there and walked it. I might not be able to leave enough breadcrumbs to find my way out if I did. But
We get people over there on the weekends riding their bikes on it. It's hilly, it's got its flat, it's dirt, it's grass. It's a great place to train.
well, so for all of you weekend warriors that want to challenge, if you want to challenge, come on out to the WTC cross country course. But make sure that you keep a compass with you. So if you can't figure out how to get back, we'll come and find you. But it's but that's pretty cool. Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, we're excited for you, for the men's team, the women's team. Obviously, you always put out great athletes, but also great young men and great young women that are good students. And I've had the pleasure of having many of them in my classes, and it's nice to see them be here and feel good about themselves and succeed, and just help build their confidence. Because we get to see them for a couple of years, and then
And then they're gone.
and then we got to start all over again. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, we appreciate you being here, and folks, we're going to be talking to Coach Williams again in a few months because, believe it or not, in the blink of an eye, and I know I shouldn't say this because it's just August, but Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. And then all of a sudden, we'll be an indoor track, an outdoor track, and there'll be a lot of exciting things to talk about with Coach then. So, Coach Williams, and anything that we didn't cover you'd like to add?
Well, no, just hopefully no one gets slighted if I didn't mention them about who the best Division One schools are. It's just too many of them.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Maybe I didn't mention their alma mater or something, but anyway,
Okay.
there's a lot of great schools out there.
Well, I was going to say, pretty much, like you said, there's hundreds out there. So that should pretty well cover everybody.
Yes, indeed.
And anyway, and if you're listening and you're a parent of a high school cross-country runner, reach out to the staff, find out what the training regimens are, and if you have aspirations, you better start now, because we have world-class cross-country runners here. So, but we're always excited about the new kids, but also the returners. And Coach, again, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your time and the generosity.
I appreciate you being here, and it's been my pleasure to be here as well.
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed that just as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. That was head coach James Williams of the Western Texas College Cross Country and Track and Field program here, and looking forward to an exciting season. And for more news, you just keep it locked right here to the voice of Western Texas College. That's 91.1 FM, the Great White Buffalo.